You ever feel like dinner time turns into chaos? Like you're chasing meals instead of enjoying them? Every single night, staring into the fridge, thinking, scrolling, hoping something magically cooks itself. But what if I told you there's a community out there, quiet, humble, that figured out generations ago? They cook once, eat all week, no stress, no waste, no clock watching, just calm, and food that warms the soul. Welcome to their world, the Amish world. Today on Rustic Pantry, we're stepping into a kitchen where time slows down, and food means more than just survival. It means peace, purpose, and maybe a little bit of magic. 1. The quiet hustle of Amish kitchens. Long before most people even rub the sleep from their eyes, in a world where the hum of machines and rush of traffic haven't yet disturbed the dawn, an Amish kitchen is already awake. Not noisy, not chaotic, but alive. You hear it in the shuffle of barefoot steps on worn pine floors, in the faint clink of iron pots, in the whispers of women discussing meals, not just for the day, but for the entire week. See, they don't cook just for today. They don't ask, what should we eat tonight? That question was answered long ago. There's this rhythm to it, not rushed, just steady. They cook everything from scratch, kneading dough without machines, chopping vegetables with old blades sharpened by hand, stirring soups in giant pots with wooden spoons so big they could pass for paddles. It's not a trend, not some social media hack. It's just how they live. Quiet, purposeful, intentional. And by the time the sun begins to stretch across the fields, most of the week's food is already done. Like magic, but it ain't magic. It's discipline, deep-rooted, passed down, generations thick. 2. Planning. The real ingredient nobody talks about. You want to know the real secret? It's not in the butter or the fire or even the flour. It's the plan. That quiet little handwritten notebook on the kitchen shelf. Dog-eared, stained with gravy marks, smudged with love. That's the power. Before they even crack an egg or peel a single spud, the Amish woman knows what's going where, which meal is stretching into which day, and what leftovers will be reborn into something new. There's no guessing. No, let's see what we feel like cooking. No room for that. The week is mapped out with the care of a cartographer drawing borders. Meals are chosen based on season. What's ripe? What's left over from last week? What grandma said works best this time of year? Maybe Monday will be chicken. Tuesday, that leftover chicken, now floating in broth, turned into soup. Wednesday might see those bones boiled again. Nothing wasted. Not a scrap. They don't throw food out like we do. They don't waste time thinking about what to cook, because they already know. That's the trick. Not more effort, just smarter effort. 3. One oven. One day. Endless food. Now, picture this. An old black iron stove, center of the room, fire roaring. It's not fancy. No timers. No digital screens. Just heat and skill. That oven don't rest on cooking day. It's treated like a member of the family. Early in the day, it gets fed, logs shoved in, fire coaxed to life. Then it begins. Bread first. Always the bread. Big yeasty loaves, soft in the middle, crusty on the outside. Dozens of them. Then come the casseroles. Cabbage layered with beef. Noodles folded into creamy sauces. Beans baked in molasses till they sing. It's an assembly line, but without the chaos. It's smooth. Peaceful even. A daughter sprinkles cheese. A son shoves wood into the fire. A grandmother stirs a pot with arms that have done this for 50 years. It's coordinated, not loud, not panicked. Each dish goes in, then out, then another, like clockwork, or poetry, or both. And by late afternoon, that oven has cooked enough meals to feed a family of 10 for 7 days, without skipping a beat. 4. The art of bulk cooking before it was cool. Meal prep isn't new. Social media didn't invent it. The Amish have been cooking like this long before Tupperware was even a thing. Their bulk cooking isn't about being trendy or efficient. It's survival. It's sanity. It's one long day that saves 6. Instead of lighting that stove every day, they fire it up once. Instead of washing pots over and over, they do it all at once. The energy saved? Immeasurable. But here's the real magic. They don't get bored of their meals. Why? Because they know how to stretch and flip flavors. A stew one day becomes pot pie the next. Roasted carrots on Monday get mashed into fritters by Thursday. There's creativity in reuse. There's pride in leftovers. They don't see leftovers as sad. They see them as smart. And every jar, every pot, every pan has its place. It's time. Nothing wasted. Nothing rushed. Just right. 5. When the whole family joins in. This ain't a one-woman show. Nope. The whole crew's involved. Even the littlest ones. A girl barely tall enough to reach the table stands on a box, peeling potatoes. Boys haul in firewood, fetch water, grind herbs. The older kids? They got their jobs. Kneading, slicing, stirring. Dad? He's out back smoking meat or fixing the latch on the pantry door. Everyone's got a role. No one's scrolling on their phones. No one's whining. Because here, work is love. You help feed your family. You feel important. And when the food hits the table, everyone knows they played a part in that roast, those rolls, that pie. You taste it. You remember it. And even though your hands are sore and your apron stained and your back's a little stiff, you smile. 'Cause it's worth it. 6. Preserving like their ancestors did. They don't rely on grocery stores for freshness. They rely on cellars. Jars. Time. If it can be grown, it can be saved. If it can be cooked, it can be sealed. Rows of green beans, peaches, corn, apple, butter, all sitting quietly in their glass tombs, waiting. Waiting to feed the family on a snowy night or a rainy Thursday. Vinegar does the heavy lifting. So does sugar, salt, even smoke. They preserve not just food, but effort. Because when you cook a week's meals in a day, you need food that keeps, that holds strong, that doesn't wilt or go mushy after one night in the fridge. Their answer? Don't use a fridge. Use tradition. That's how their great-grandmothers did it. And it still works today. 7. Simple food. Deep flavor. Their meals? Simple. But don't confuse simple with boring. It's hearty, satisfying, real. Think thick slices of beef and boiled potatoes dripping in butter. Homemade noodles soaking in broth. Bean soups with fat chunks of ham. There's no need for exotic spices or complex sauces. Just salt, pepper, herbs grown out back in time. That's what makes it rich. And the beauty is, these meals aren't just made. They're designed to stretch. One ham turns into 3 different meals. Potatoes are cooked 3 ways in 3 days. Nothing wasted, nothing repeated. It's efficiency with a soul, a meal with memory, something you look forward to, even if it's the second time that week. 8. Storing food without electricity. Here's a head scratcher. How do they keep all this food fresh without modern fridges? Easy. They don't rely on electricity. They rely on design. Root cellars dug deep into the ground stay cool naturally. Stone basements. Thick-walled pantries. Cold corners of the house, untouched by sunlight. Soups are stored in crockery with tight lids. Bread wrapped in cloth. Meats smoked or salted. Milk kept in flowing spring houses. It sounds primitive, but it works. Better than you'd think, because they know their food. What spoils? What doesn't? What needs air? What doesn't? There's wisdom in that. Not from a textbook, but from living it. Every single day. 9. The calm after the cooking. By the end of that big prep day, the kitchen's quiet again. You can hear the ticking of the clock. Maybe a baby laughing somewhere. Maybe a kettle hissing low. The table's wiped. The floor's swept. The shelves are full, and so are their hearts, because the rest of the week, it's freer. They could spend more time outside, in prayer, With family, they don't worry about what's for dinner. That worry's already gone. Cooked, cooled, stored. That's the beauty. One hard day buys you 6 soft ones. No frantic dinner decisions. No late-night grocery runs. Just peace and food, ready when you are. 10. A way of life that makes you think. Maybe you're wondering, can this even work in a modern world? Can you really cook like the Amish? Maybe not all the way, but parts of it, absolutely. The real secret isn't in the food. It's in the mindset. Slowing down, planning, respecting your time, treating meals not as chores, but as gifts. Stop chasing new recipes every day. Start building systems that give you freedom. Cook once, eat for days. Save your time, save your peace. Maybe, just maybe, the Amish aren't behind the times. Maybe they're ahead, living in a way most of us forgot, but desperately need. So maybe it ain't about having the newest appliances or 10-step recipes with 20 ingredients. Maybe it's about slowing down, cooking with intention, planning like your grandma did. The Amish don't just feed bodies, they nourish lives. And by cooking a week's worth of food in one day, they free up something most of us are starving for. Time, quiet, presence. Try it, just once. You might feel something shift. And if this spoke to you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join us here at Rustic Pantry, where tradition meets simplicity, and where every meal has a story worth telling.